ditto thanks for being hosted here by Otto and this fine store, and certainly for being able to be here with these two guys. It's good stuff. I'm going to read something a little, not from the first part, but it doesn't need any setup. It's just something about, a little bit about Brooklyn. Since we have three Brooklyn authors here, I figured I'd sort of read a little something about how I see Brooklyn, or the part of Brooklyn in which I set this book in Carroll Gardens. I had to see Johnny one ball. Johnny is a fence. Someone tried to rip him off, shot him between the legs, so now he has only one. He lived on Smith Street, the restaurant row in Brooklyn, not far from Ariel's Bistro. It's in a brownstone neighborhood called Carroll Gardens, which is next to Cobble Hill. The only way you can tell one neighborhood from the other is by a slight difference in elevation and real estate price tags. Cobble Hill is higher in both. The populace was basically comprised of neighborhood people and hipsters. The neighborhood guy was born in Brooklyn and probably went to PS 58. The older ones were longshoremen, the younger ones in the trades, cops or firemen. They ate pasta with red sauce and they called gravy, and only went to the traditional Italian restaurants and bakeries in the neighborhood. Many hadn't been to Manhattan, called the city, in years. They were proud to be called neighborhood guys. Hipsters were the newcomers, gentrifiers, the ones who commuted to Manhattan and drove up real estate prices. They patronized the booming business of new Italian restaurants on Smith Street, where they drank PBR and hand-rolled their cigarettes. Hipsters were easy to spot. The male versions wore pork pie hats, too small sweaters, black plastic glasses, and old-school Chuck Taylor sneakers. The females wore sported, funky, two-tone glasses, star tattoos, 70s ski vests, and old-school pumas. The hipsters had cornered the market in what was hip, as the name suggests, but disliked being called hipsters. Neighborhood guys and hipsters pretend the other group doesn't exist, like two groups of ghosts that can't see each other. There was a third part of this population few knew existed. Like most of the trades in New York, art theft has a neighborhood, and this was one of them. Many professional thieves, and by that I don't mean stick-up guys with steak knives filling up glove boxes, keep gainful employment in the restaurant business. Like almost anybody else, they need a regular job. Nothing else to explain to curious police and the Internal Revenue where they derive their income. Waiting tables or chefing also makes for a nice help. Most restaurants in New York close late. If you're a waiter or chef, you may not leave your place of employment until real late. Or you could be prying open the bathroom window of a check cashing place. Restaurant workers cover for each other. The neighborhood had a lot of restaurants where the tips were good and the apartment rents were a little bit lower. Carroll Gardens was further from most of the Manhattan places where the art or other goods were stolen from, but not too far. That the area was a haven for goofballs wasn't common knowledge, and it wasn't like every other person on the street was a goofball. Only those in the business knew. Joe Ball was a maitre d' at Dominic's, an Italian place farther down Smith Street. It was an old school place, not hip. Italians from all over Brooklyn would come there for their Sunday pasta and red sauce. Joe Ball was the man with the toupee and the suit who greeted everybody, flirted with the old fat broads from Bay Ridge, and made sure the customers felt special. His talents didn't stop there. Johnny also moved goodies, liquidated them into cash. You might say we were competitors. He brokered the thief's goods into the art market, and I brokered the thief's goods back to the insurance companies. There was no bad blood between us, just a little spirited competition now and again. We also used each other to keep a finger on the pulse of what was going on, what was what, who had done what. Shop talk, key to any business, even between competitors. Maybe whoever took my goodies was trying to broker them to him or somebody else. Would this be a way of putting the goodies into my hands? Joe Ball and I had an understanding that we wouldn't undercut each other. If the paintings were mine first, I was pretty sure he'd hand them over for a finder's fee.